Welcome to the Clubhouse podcast. My name is Juan. I'm here with a special guest. His name is Jeth Arthur. He's been with the Clubhouse Network for over 24 years, and today we'll hope learn to we'll get to know him a little bit more better. Okay, so my first question for you is: can you share a bit about your background and how your journey began?
Yes. So I've always been I was always like an artsy kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my mom did photography. She loved to draw and doodle. And then my dad loved to play music all the time. He could play things by ear. So I think that those two mixed, and I had a just appreciation for visual art and music. And so I was doing a lot of music when I was in high school, like hip hop. And then I also got introduced to youth development through a teacher, and who had us go and talk to some and work with some younger kids. And so I went to Morehouse College for education. I was a teacher for a bit, and then really I found that what I really liked to do was kind of work with teenagers more in a teenage setting and work outside of the school system.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I went to graduate school and then got into it, and then it was the Clubhouse was like something that was a perfect blend of like visual, music, all the technology, and then also working with teenagers. So
Yeah, I've had like a similar experience to that. My kind of a lot of people in my family are kind of like artsy. My sister studies photography at East Bay. My
nice.
mom is like she like creates a lot of merchandise. She like makes t-shirts,
Mm,
cups, a lot of that stuff. So I'm like, yeah,
nice.
it kind of interests me. And then when I saw that I could do that stuff here at the clubhouse, I was like, hey, maybe I can get myself into it too. And yeah,
Yeah.
and over the years I just been like Eric's been helping me learn a bunch of stuff, and it's been pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah. The Clubhouse is like the perfect blend of everything that you want to learn,
yeah.
artsy.
Hmm. All right. For my second question is, what inspired you to choose your current career path? Was there a defining moment, say, on your track?
Defining moment. So specifically the Clubhouse network, yeah, there was when I went to graduate school, I had left teacher. I didn't want to be a teacher anymore because I feel like uh, it was a little too confining for me. Like I was super artsy and wanted to do music, and I had the kids rapping lessons and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the school system where I was at in Atlanta was super like, no, you got to teach to prepare them for this standardized test, and everything was very much to the standardized test. So when I got into graduate school, I met somebody who worked at the Clubhouse network, and I saw like digital art, and she had music, and she had graphic design and video examples, and I was like, this is like, sign me up, this is where I want to be,
Yeah,
and I hadn't even seen the actual Clubhouse yet. So when they interviewed me and I actually saw it, I was like, man, I sound like one of those old folks, like, where was this when I was little? You know what I'm saying?
yeah, the
Yeah,
freedom of choice. Yeah.
yeah, I thought it was perfect.
Mm. Okay, so every journey comes with obstacles. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced, and how did you overcome them?
In getting to the Clubhouse network.
Oh yeah, and look, in general, like getting to where you're at now.
Yeah, that's a good question. Biggest obstacles. Well, one of the big, I think the consistent theme of obstacles was like pushing past my fears or my comfort zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up in San Jose, right? And a lot of my friends were not into the best things, kind of in the street and getting in
Yeah.
trouble and stuff, but they were like family to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even the decision to leave San Jose and go to Atlanta was like a big obstacle because it was like, I could just stay here and be comfortable with all my friends and all the people I knew. Um, but I decided to go and take the leap and go to Atlanta. and
Mm.
met a whole new group of folks. And like every time I've pushed past like my fear, it's actually been a whole new community, friends, support, and like experiences and stuff. So um, yeah, there was just a lot of things that were happening when I was a teenager, like some street stuff, and then a big car accident that my friends had gotten into, and so I was just like, I was time. It was time to leave. And then when
Yeah.
I was in Atlanta, I spent 6 years in Atlanta. But again, the same thing happened. I was a teacher, and um, like I, I I could have stayed in that job, and there was people who stayed in that job for like years and years and years, and you could
Mhm.
see the comfort on them, like this is just what they knew and got used to.
Mhm.
But I pushed past it and moved to a whole different city, Boston, which I
Mhm.
knew nothing about, and I
Mm.
had never lived somewhere where it was so cold in the winter. But that was, that was another push past the comfort zone, and then I got involved with the clubhouse, and
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, I think that would be like those are kind of various examples of challenges, but the theme is like pushing past my comfort zone.
Yeah, and every time you do it, you get rewarded for it.
Definitely.
Mm. So, second to last question, what does your work look like today? Can you walk us through what you do and what are you more passionate about?
Yeah, so I actually do a few things. So with work, um, I'm the innovation manager, and
Mhm.
so I feel like it's the best job because I get to explore with all the new technology and cutting edge software and things like that. Um, and then I get to introduce it to the coordinators like Eric or some of the young people. And so we've been playing with VR,
Mhm.
and so we were exploring with it so much that Meta gave us 400 headsets to send to every clubhouse around the world.
Mhm.
So, and that came from like exploring and creating in VR and getting a headset myself and things like that. Same with AI. So right now we're doing a lot with AI, like trying to create video and trying to create images and then make the images move and create short films and stuff like that. And then 3D modeling is you can now do with AI and all kinds of stuff, and augmented reality. So on a daily basis, I'm trying to introduce I'm either trying to experiment with some new sort of tech or
Mhm.
software, or um, set people up that are experts in the field to come and uh, talk to the network, like all these
Yeah.
clubhouses all around the world.
That's kind of
So,
cool. I was lucky to be one of the winners of one of those headsets.
oh,
Yeah, a few
nice,
years back I won one. It was pretty cool.
nice, nice.
Yeah.
Did you ever enter the Reach Media Festival?
I don't think I was able to, but I
Mm.
think the opportunity that I took was to do the, because at the time it was to create a beat, like a music beat, to be able to win a headset. It was like, yeah,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Nice,
yeah.
nice.
It was pretty cool. I like the experience of VR.
Yeah.
It's entertaining.
Ooh. The other thing I do is I have my own film production company. So
Mm,
we do like short documentaries for, um, folks around Oakland or nonprofits or things like that. So even outside of the clubhouse, I'm a artist and creator. And then anything that I learn on that side, I'm introduced to the clubhouse folks, and then things I learned from the clubhouse side, I bring it into that. And so, yeah, that's another
mm,
thing I'm working on. I like video. I do a lot of video and filmmaking and things
mm.
like that.
Okay, so this is more of like a personal question. Are you a follower of like sports?
Yeah.
Yeah, saying okay, so saying as like you're from like all these cities like San Jose, Atlanta, Boston,
Mm.
do you like your home teams like Bay Area or do you like Boston or Atlanta?
Oh no, it's Bay Area all day. Yeah,
Good.
even so I live in Oakland. I've been in Oakland now for 20 something years.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's Warriors all day, and
Mm-hmm.
Raiders made me mad, so we're not going to talk about that, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's Bay Area. all day.
Yeah, I tasked that question.
Yeah.
Okay, so for my last question, it's advice to the youth. Seeing as that you've been with the clubhouse for over 24 years or 25,
Mhm.
what is any like? Do you have any like advice or words of wisdom that you would want to give to somebody, maybe like potentially following your career path?
Yeah, I would say one thing that I wish I had done more of, and of course it worked out, but is like, so where I should start? Okay, so one thing I would do is constantly set goals for yourselves, right? So
Mhm,
I would tell them, even if it's something as small as like, okay, I can only do 10 push-ups now. I want to get to 50 push-ups,
mhm,
right? So if I want to work backwards by the end of April, I want to get to 50 push-ups so that what am I going to set like from now until April to increase?
mhm,
But you can do that with anything. Like I want to get better at video editing. I want to get better at beat making or the 3D printer or whatever. The other thing I would say is to push past your comfort zone and your fears. And one thing I think that I wish that I had seen when I was young is Earl Nightingale. There's this guy called Earl Nightingale on YouTube put this speech out called the strangest secret in the world, or the weird secret, the strangest secret in the world. I think that's what it's called. And it just like it's kind of like what I'm talking about. If you put your mind to something, you work towards that, and if you constantly write it down and think about it and work towards it and practice and fail and get back up and learn from your mistakes and all that,
mhm,
that whatever your goal is, you'll eventually become that. So yeah, that's what I would have. Like stick to it. Find something that you're passionate about and then keep at it,
mhm.
you know.
That's nice. Well, I think that's all the questions that I have for today. Thank you
All
for
right.
interviewing.
Thanks for having me, man. This
Yeah.
is cool.
Yeah,
Y'all, I
thank
like
you.
y'all setup, man. This is
Yeah.
professional.
Yeah.
Take care.